Right, this is my back door, and we come out and there's this sort of covered way, and as you can see it is quite a junk area. We've got a little freezer here which I keep bread in, tumble dryer, lots of tools. That's the gate to the front of the house. Then we've got a window here, more stuff. That's the chicken food in that black bin. And then the door to the garden. And the garden's made up of, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 5 areas. So to the front, this used to be front garden, but we cornered it off because we had a gazebo here for a party about 10 years ago. And not a lot grows here. So we got this arch, got this old trampoline, and then a lot of bare ground, and I am trying to build it up, so I'm hoping to make that flower bed bigger and maybe cut back some of these great big trees, fir trees, so that they give light, because nothing grows under the flower bed. It's a bit of a dumping ground. With the metal shed has a lawnmower in, and then we've got the compost bins there and a lot of junk. And then you go round, so that's the arch I just come through, and then there's this flower bed here, and then I've got this other arch, and as you can see it's more work in progress. We've just done this arch, and now I'm going to want to clear all this area here. I'm thinking of getting rid of these 4 great big trees, and I want some sort of covered area there where you can sit on a sofa or something when it's rainy, but still nice to be out. So we have the decking pond. So this pond was built out of fence posts that my husband got free from a job he was doing. They were used to space some metal shelving stuff in for a great big warehouse, and they were going to dump them. So he brought them home and we made this pond, and this is my favourite pond. 4 ponds, and this is the latest one, and it's my favourite. And this has got all the fry that I've bred from the big fish, and you can see them there. I went to a show at Melvin, and they had, a couple of years ago, and they had a pond like this with all reeds in and things in the canopy, and I thought that's what I want to recreate. So I came home and that's what we recreated. And there you can see that's the door to that covered area, and then there's a bench here, and a lot of tidying up needed. The patio is old, needs weeding. Then here we have these boxes that my husband reclaimed. They had this long trough here. It was twice as long, and it had metal girders in it for a job he was at, so he cut it in half and brought it home. And then I've got one here and one over here with all my plants in. So yes, so that's good. And then we have the summer house. So we've had that, God, it must be maybe 20 years. It was my husband used the money he got from his mum when she died, and we bought that. But it's still lovely, and I like to sit in it and look at the garden, but I am going to restain it. So then we have the veg area, and that's through here with the chickens, and you can see. Now this willow tree hangs over, and it does mess with my veg patch because it stops rain getting there and stops the seeds growing, because you've got leaves falling in it. But I need to cut back the willow tree to make that work better. But that's the chickens, and then I have a fruit cage, and I have some black currants and things in there, but it also needs weeding again. This is the asparagus going crazy now. And then we have the second pond, which is in front of the greenhouse. A lot of tidying up to do. I've just stained this pond this lovely green colour, and I want to do the summer house this green colour as well. And these again have got the fry-in that I've bred from the big pond. And then I've got some runner beans coming up here. Some more runner beans that need planting out. Down here is radishes. I've got strawberries, they're growing there, and that is an orange tree which obviously doesn't do any oranges. There are two blueberry bushes back there. That's some spinach. Some lettuce, which is going crazy with all this rain, and some more lettuce. And then I've got some ball beans and some potatoes. And then right at the back there, I got my rhubarb. So, and in the greenhouse, I've got some, I think they're mange twos, and my tomato plants. I don't know what's happened about them. They're about 1.5 inches tall. That's absolutely ridiculous. I've got 3 nice sized tomato plants, and they are ones that I got from the garden centre, and they're doing great. So this is the veg area. Like I say, it needs some TLC. Then you come out into this part of the garden, and that's the patio over there that we were at, rear of the house. It's a bungalow. We've got a lovely olive tree there, and there's a little willow there with a seating area that needs painting. Little Wendy house for the grandkids. Storage behind that trellis, and then this is my potting shed. And I first painted that pond down there, the green, and then I thought that's such a lovely colour, so I decided to do the potting shed. And now I'm loving that green, so I'm thinking I'll do the summer house as well. But we've got this metal arch here that you walk through, and some plants, so it's gradually coming together. I want to make it so that you can't see from one area to the other, apart from through the arches. This again has got fry-in that I bred from our large fish. A lot of them are going to my daughter's, her husband's parents. They've got a pond and they want some. And then I'm breeding more for her pond. She's having a pond dug out, a massive pond, a new build, and I'm breeding loads of more little fish for her, but I'll show you them in a minute. That's my potting shed. Again, these are good tidy up, sort out, and of course I haven't stained this side because I was just checking to see if I like the colour. That was the colour, so I've got to, today I'm going to stain this. It'll need 2 coats of the green. And we've got loads of apple trees down here, this side, another big arch, and then the decking pond. And this is the main pond, and this is where the big fish are. And I want to try and do something so we don't have to have this horrible net on here, because with the other ponds I've put fishing line wire around on posts, and that seems to have stopped the heron. So I want to do something like that for these, but it's not just stopping the heron, it's also stopping the big fish from jumping out, because they get this time of year they get a bit frisky and they jump quite high, and you don't want them jumping out onto the grass. But you can see they're quite big. We have a window at the front of this one, which is quite nice. So might need a clean, and then you can see the fish there. Yeah, it needs a bit of a clean. That's nice. But some of them are quite big. So we've got 2 sofas here. And then this is where I'm breeding some more little fry, and there are lots of tiny ones in there, but they are like 1 millimetre long, so you can't really see. But there's probably a couple of hundred in there, and that's going to be for my daughter's pond that we're building at the moment. And then this is the bottom of the garden, and as you can see, that needs lots of work. It's a beautiful rose that goes up that archway. I think it's called Agatha Christie. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that bed, we've just been weeding that, and that needs sorting out. So yeah, and the decking all needs staining. There's not enough hours in the day, but yeah, so it's an L-shaped garden that wraps round the bungalow. So, and it's on a plot of 100 by 100 feet, and then the bungalow's on there, and it all wraps around. But that is my garden, and that is that willow tree. So yes, so I am going to get on with staining that bit of potting shed. Well, thanks for watching my garden tour.